Shalom, shalom. Testing, shalom, shalom. All right, shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America so that the people in the sign, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that we are the true children of Israel according to the Bible. Let the so-called white man know that he is Esau and that America is Babylon and that it will be destroyed. The third world war, which is going to be a nuclear war, which is very soon to come. So with that being said, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in both truth and sincerity, and all the men and the women who follow, the innumerable multitude. So with that being said, let's jump right into it.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 1. And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights afore. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee.
Yeah, man, sit up and listen because I got something to tell you. Go ahead.
And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow.
Right, so imagine, a vast sea, almost like an ocean, but a stream leading to it. Go ahead.
It says, and like a river, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?
Right. So, and can we get that precept in Matthew's? Enter ye in at the straight gate. Because what the angel was trying to tell him, he's not giving him sailing tips or anything like that. He's talking about, our plight in this truth.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Right, man. So, and that's the straight gate. It's talking about dire straits. Can we get that word straight?
But when you get the word straight, goes into Strong's G 4728, stenos, which is narrow or straight. Let's see. That's all it says to that.
Because because a strait is a very narrow passage of river, like the straits that Gibraltar, which separate Spain from Africa, and you have the Mediterranean Sea on one side, and you have the Atlantic Ocean on another side. That's called a strait. But we're talking about we get the
etym of the word straight. It says narrow, confined space or place, especially narrow pass or passage between hills. Also goes into the sense of difficulty, plight.
Right, a plight, man, a difficulty, man. And coming into this truth, it's not going to be easy. You're gonna experience those difficulties. Painstaking measures have to be taken in this truth to arise above. You have to. You live your whole life in the world, and then you discover the truth, and now, 5-10 years later, you're still trying to get that old man out because you was that guy for 20 some odd years. And now you're 10 years in the truth, but you're essentially a 10-year-old. Yeah. You may have the knowledge of a lot of things, but you're still very juvenile. And things hit different when you hit 30, right? And the apostles, they've been in it for 30 years. Some of us aren't even 30 yet. You know what I mean? So just let that sink in. So how much more you being in this thing for 30 years, coming in your mid-20s, That's why the apostles are so wise. That's why they have that experience. It'll get you there. But guess what? I can tell you this. They've been going through straits this whole time. Nobody gets an exemption from that. Everybody's going to go through it.
So 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 8, it says, "Be not therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of the Most High."
Okay.
You know, and just you know, like the brother was mentioning, how with the straits are tied in with afflictions and tribulation as well. You know, like the brother was mentioning, a beautiful point. You know, the elders and apostles on down the line have been dealing with heavy demons. You know, because once you impart this truth, the demons are going to attack you more, right? But this is what the Apostle Paul was telling Timothy, to be partaker of the afflictions of the gospel, and letting them know right off the bat, you about to go through some shit. You know.
Go ahead.
The Sirach chapter 2 verse 1, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation."
Prepare your soul for temptation, man. It's not going to be easy. You know, defeating those old demons, defeating those old habits. You know, matter of fact, can we get 1 Corinthians 10 and 13? Go ahead. Is there more on that?
Yeah, we can get more on it.
Yeah.
Just like I dropped it. It says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble."
Constantly endure. Constantly, you know, make it through, man. The scriptures say, you know, a righteous man falls 7 times, but he get back up. You know? So I'm not saying that you're going to be in this truth and you're going to get a flawless victory. There are no flawless victories. You know? Shit, we sin every day. You know, we can't wear the right fabrics or have control over, you know, our woman being in another house when she's on her menstrual, things of that nature. You know? So ultimately we need forgiveness. But aside from that, you know, we're going to be played. Can you hold, we wrestle not against flesh and blood?
This is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. "There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able."
Yeah, you know, because Satan can't tempt you with something that you're not attracted to. You know, if you never smoked a Newport a day in your life, you know, Satan can't come at you for a cigarette, you know? But if you like big booties on Instagram, Satan can then come at you via the woman. You know, he's going to attack at your weaknesses, at the points that, you know, he has an area that would affect you.
And those demons grow stronger and stronger over time, you know.
But the scripture said that the Lord will make a way out. You know, he's not going to just leave you, you know, hemmed up. You know, he's not going to just leave you in a trumped up situation that you can't, you know, resist the devil. Well, the scripture said, resist the devil, he shall flee, right? So you have to look for that way out, man, and have faith that the Lord will make a way out in these times of straits. Oh, well, I want to ask him for next, but you finish that.
It says, "But will with the temptation make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it."
Yeah, he'll make a way to escape that you can be able to bear it, man. And, you know, a lot of the times it's just a test, man, to see where your faith is, where your level of, you know, trusting the Most High is. Was that precept I asked for?
Ephesians chapter 6, verse, can I start at 11?
Yeah.
Verse 11 says, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places."
Yeah, man, we're not fighting men. Okay? Men aren't the ones who are tempting us. When I say men, I'm talking about mankind, human beings. All right? A human being may try to get you to go off, but it's a demon, it's a spirit that hopped on him in order to get you to try to go off. You know? You have, this is a real life situation. We're reading in Tobit how Asmodeus was, killing the men who wanted to lay with Sarah, right? And we don't know if Asmodeus wanted Sarah, or if Sarah was just, a beautiful woman, and men were lusting after her that married her. The scriptures don't say, but what we do know is that he was hanging around her, right. And they had to get him off of her, in order for Tobias to marry her. And so you have to take that and you have to bring it to today, man. People will have demons, in their inner circle, attached to them. How you doing today? Everything good? Demons become your friend. And some people become friends with their demons. Yeah. But this is all part of the straits. I'm saying, we're going to get back to the subject here in a little bit, but I'm saying all of this just to let you know, man, if you're new in this truth, if you've been in this truth, just know that, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Put your seatbelt on. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But have faith that you're going to make it to the end. You can get that precept, viewers. If it's all right. Yeah. We'll go back to
2nd Ezra 7.
Okay.
Back in 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 5. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?
Right, and that broad way is the kingdom of heaven. Right? So in order for us to get to the kingdom of heaven, we have to go through these straits. We have to go through these hard times. When you might have to deny yourself. When you might have to deny your family. All right? What are you willing to give up for the Most High? Matter of fact, can we get the rich man that said, I've studied from my youth up. What are you willing to give up for the Most High? The scripture says, no man loving mother or father or son or daughter, more than me is fit for the kingdom of heaven. So you wouldn't make it through that straight. You might get shipwrecked halfway through on your little raft, because no boat's gonna fit through this. All right, no yacht is going through that strait. You gotta be you're damn near on a fucking donut with a paddle. Trying to navigate rough waters. You in one of those, what do they call a kayak?
Yeah.
We in a kayak in whitewater rafting, trying to get to the sea, trying to get through these tough waters. You got that?
Yeah. So Matthew chapter 19 and verse 18, it says, he said unto him, which Yahweh, Salaki, did see? My bad. Verse 16. Matthew 19 verse 16, it says, and behold, one came and said unto him, good master, what thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none but good but one, that is Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, which? Yahweh said, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man said unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up, what lack I yet? Yahweh said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, you doing everything you're supposed to do. Go ahead, give up everything that you got, sell it, and come and follow me. Be a pilgrim with me. Testing this metal. What you really made of. Go ahead. Yeah, keep reading.
It says, verse 22 says, but when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions.
Yeah, he had a lot. He might have had some money. He might have got an inheritance from his family, had lands and titles and servants and such. And what happens, you know, when you got a lot of money, what did who was it? One of the boxers, I think it was Marvin Hagler, that said it's hard to wake up in the morning and jog 3 miles in silk pajamas. You know, you wake up, because when you on the come up, you know, when you ain't been a champion, you trying to get to it, right? You waking up early, you do your work, you in the gym, and then you fighting, and then you become a champion. You know, you've been a champion so long, you done got big house, 10 cars, anything that you want. You know, now you got a fucking triple X king size bed, you know, with a beautiful woman under your arms, and now you got to get up and run because you got a fight coming. That's tough, you know? But that's what this guy was experiencing, because he had great possessions. So because he had those great possessions, you know, he didn't want to give it up. Go ahead.
It says, then said Yahushua unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, man, and hey, even in these times, man, because what? All money is going to be put on the MOT to the B. So if you got great possessions, if you got, you know, I got equity in this house, you know, I got 100,000 in the bank, 100K in the bank, and they go put it on the chip and tell you that they're going to 10X it. But you got to take this chip. It's going to be hard for a rich man to get into the kingdom, you know. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible, because you have men who have a little bit of money, who, you know, are in this gospel, who believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, who I truly believe will eschew the MOT to the B. But it's all about your spirit and, you know, what you are truly made of.
Can you grab First Timothy 6 real quick? Just speaking on, you know, just jumping in real quick, speaking on you know, the rich man making it into the kingdom, you know, because when this MOTV pop off, it's gonna somewhat even out the playing field. You know what I'm saying? You either playing the game or you're not playing the game. And if you're not playing the game, then it ain't gonna be a game with you, because shit, even if you playing the game, it ain't gonna be a game, because they got you in a trap at that point.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead. I'll let you get it. Probably 6 and 10 maybe. Probably can start up a little. Yeah, go 6.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
Yep, but godliness with contentment is great gain. Go ahead, I'll let you continue.
For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Yeah, and that's the important thing to keep up here. These shoes I got, these pants I got, the car that I have, the house that I stay in, the job that I have, whatever. Like, I think when we was down in Des Moines, brothers like, I ain't even taking a sock or something like that. You know, all these possessions that we have, we brought none of that into the world. You gain all of that as you as you've grown up in this world, man. Okay? So when you leave, you can't take none of that with you. Go ahead.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Yep, having food and raiment, therewith let us be content. You know, you have certain celebrities, you know, they don't spend their money the way that other celebrities do. You know? And a lot of celebrities end up getting rich, and then they end up broke by the end of their career. The Lord allowed me to understand how to manage money well enough. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to get that, to me right now, I'd be like, man, I'll do it this and do that. But some people can't handle being rich. And then some people can't handle being poor. When you go into Luke and he speaks about the rich man, where that parable came from, all right? Because he wasn't willing to give up his possession. He's like, how do I get into the kingdom of heaven? He's like, oh man, you know the law, bear not false witness, don't commit adultery, don't serve any images. Oh yeah, all that, yeah, I'm good, I do all of that. He was like, all right, he said, give up all that thou hast, man. Give up all that thou hast, okay? And give unto the poor. Give it to some people that can use it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it, man, because that's why balance is very important in this truth. Sometimes you're gonna have things, sometimes you ain't. Sometimes the Lord gonna throw you a little something, sometimes he gonna take a little something. But all in all, you gotta keep in mind, he's not gonna put nothing put nothing on you that you. He's not gonna put nothing on you that you can't handle, man. Okay. Go ahead.
It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
Yeah, because you're any break that you can get, man. Look at what's going on with the diddler. All of that. We know what happens within this entertainment world. And he did whatever he did to get those riches in some of the ways. Pretty much stuck with him. He's pretty much turning this person, that person, whatever's going on. You know what I'm saying? Read that part again.
It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and
temptation and a snare. Not if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. I mean, part of it, because somebody could offer you a bag. We've had a couple people that spoke about they received a anonymous letter from somewhere. I've spoken to people that's like, yeah, they approached me and said that, boom, 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 if I want to be rich and I can have this and that, they'll do it. All I got to do is this and that, man. Okay? So those things do happen. People are bought off. People do sell out, man. People do make a deal for a happy meal. Okay? But like I said, don't let that temptation, you can't give into that temptation, man. Because at the end of the day, you got to remember what we read before. You brought nothing into this world, you're going to take nothing out. So at the end of the day, this is what Moses was speaking, what they spoke about with Moses when you read in Hebrews 11, that he chose rather to suffer with the children of the Most High than to enjoy pleasures of sin for a season. Because that's all that this is. These riches, these cars, these TV shows, reality shows, College World Series, NBA playoffs, NBA Finals, Super Bowl, all of that is just a part of now. I was just riding here because I was just riding here thinking about my AC in my crib, because shit, it's been off for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But this is how the Lord works, man. All right, there was a lot of things happening, before that, but something happened, and we working on that. Then another thing happened, and we had to work on that. And then as that happened, the AC unit went out, just out of nowhere. Seen the temp in the crib climbing, and I'm turning it down, 70, 68. That ain't doing nothing. All right. Oh, this ain't working. All right, okay. So had to get that figured out, and it took 2 weeks to get it figured out, man. And it was literally a 5-minute fix. All right, but this is how the Lord works. That same day that it went out, a couple days after that, the temperature started cooling down. Because if it's hot at night, it's still gonna be hot in the crib. But the temperature started dropping, and bros can attest to it here, for the past couple of weeks, it's been cool nights. It's been a little heated during the day, but it be some cool nights, 55, 65, 70 maybe. All right, with some breeze coming through, so we was good. At night, sleeping upstairs, and that heat coming through. That breeze coming through, keeping us cool. And right now, today, I would say it's probably the second hottest day within the past few days. And had a buddy come over today. He said, yeah, man, I checked this, boom, boom. Soon as he told me to go turn the thermostat on, it started right up, And it's just, you're going to have low moments, you're going to have high moments. I ain't sitting here going crazy and this and that. Like a wise man said, Jake gonna have to learn how to deal without AC. We all been there. I told my kids, they never even experienced that. That's the crazy thing. I stuck the fan in the window. Oh, it's cooler in here already. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we grew up on, man. That code goes into play with knowing how to abound and know how to be a base, man. All right, it's that balance to it. So on the way here, I'm thinking about my AC, and I'm like, damn, when shit hits the fan, it's gonna hit the fan, man. All right, it's really gonna hit the fan. You talking about no AC, all the food in the refrigerator going bad. I'm talking about like power being out. You know what I'm saying? In the summertime at that. TV, gaming, all of that shit that people, your phone go dead, then, all of these things that people that's the norm to people. But look what happened in 2020 when everybody normalcy was shaking up, man. All right, that's why can you go back to verse 6? And can we get the definition of godliness?
This is 1 Timothy 6, verse 6. But godliness with great contentment, but godliness with contentment is great gain.
But godliness with contentment is great gain, man. Okay.
Can I get this real quick before? Because you had said something about the food, like the problems that people don't know that's real problems. When shit hit the fan, things you really need, like water, shelter, and shit like that, is going to be important. You know what I'm saying? In 2nd Ezra 16 and 21, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. The victuals being so good cheap, that word cheap really goes back to like an abundance. All right? It don't mean like a lower in price. It's more of an abundance. I'm gonna look at the etymology real quick. So right out the gate it says lower in price that that may be bought at small. Traffic, a purchase, to trade, buy and sell. Okay, so you go to Walmart, it's TVs endless. You go to the grocery store, it's endless. It's bananas because they got year-round bananas. You know what I'm saying? Because where the bananas come from? Fucking Hawaii.
Because of the traffic.
Yeah, because of the traffic. But when the traffic ceased, and it's showing you signs of that through the docks, the shipping, through the tariffs, all right, and all these things that are so good cheap is eventually really going to stop, okay? And then people ain't going to know what the hell to do. Hey, women, I'm independent. Now they starting to cut these amenities off. Now you got to actually really be independent, because Babylon has created a false reality to make you think that you are something you're not because of money or because of their subsidies, okay? Because they give you housing for fucking $12 a month, food stamps, $400, $500 worth of food stamps, a month. You know what I'm saying? Different things. All right, you think, I'm taking care of myself because you got the ability to go and sit in the office and listen to them. All right, you think you got bread because you got good credit. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't equate. You think you smart because you got a degree. You know what I'm saying? But your fucking car start overheating, you gonna be up in that motherfucker looking stupid. Barely can change it. I can't even change a tire.
Yeah, bro.
To be honest, like I always say,
I was gonna say, one day I was riding, I seen 3 to 4 women changing the tire. All of them but looking like they don't know what to do.
How many monkeys it take to screw in one light bulb?
Yep.
That's because in reality, it's gonna be like that. A lot of people don't know how to cook. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to gather. Men are hunter-gatherers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas don't know how to gut a fish, catch the fish. I know how to fish, but I don't know how to, do the same thing with a deer. Niggas don't even know how to kill a deer properly. Niggas are Niggas would be in the wilderness, got a deer in the headlock, choking that nigga till he pass out, stuff him, and then they cut that nigga up and eat him just cut the legs off and the shit you can get to. That's what niggas gonna do, meat all defiled and shit.
Right.
Fucking deer traumatized shit tastes like fucking vinegar and lemon juice and shit. You know? They're sitting here eating tainted meat.
Yep.
Because you don't know how to survive. You don't know the real essence of living. You know what I'm saying? Like Slakia, you know, but there was a statement, it was a book I was reading, and they was talking about, like, people don't understand, like, the lifestyle of a Neanderthal, a so-called Neanderthal, or a person that had to wake up every day and go find their food. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different problem. You didn't have a refrigerator. So you had to wake up every day. You know what I'm saying? Or not every day, you probably go get a deer that'll last you a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your crops together. Every day you gotta tend to your living.
Yeah.
Right now, every day we're tending to Esau's living, and he's reciprocating us with a low-level lifestyle. Okay? He give us enough to get our little house, or he's really giving us enough to get an apartment. At this point, get you a little bucket, you know, or you might get you a decent car depending on how hard you work for his system. But you're not. He's giving you stuff to survive.
Honor your enemy for one of all things.
Yeah. You know, that's what's going on. And people got comfortable and they think that, oh, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? And once all this shit shut down, pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, all right, it says, matter of fact, let's get that and I'll let you get back to what you got. Because it tells you, man, that when shit hit the fan, everything start going to shit, man. You know, I always say testosterone is going to be king.
Well, like them videos you've been sending me, you know? Got these women, they all strong and built and shit like that, and they getting handled. I ain't gotta say manhandled.
Little Asian niggas is walking with a hand. These bitches been in the gym doing Pilates and fucking what you call that, tornadoes. I forget what you call it. It's like you jump from circuit to circuit of exercise. You know what I'm saying? And they get doing squats and bend over rolls, throwing tires and shit. And they don't understand that like to manage and then the transfer weight is different from you know pushing. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why they call it like grown man strength. Like a nigga could be about your size in a bed and handle your ass, man.
You talking about CrossFit, bro?
Yeah,
Niggas
CrossFit.
doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they strong.
Yeah, they used to call it tornado, but they changed it. But yeah, they just sitting there doing CrossFit. They leading there at the leaderboard in their gym and shit. You know, so now they want to challenge a man. You're missing reality. People are out of touch with reality because of the comfort that Babylon has given you. But Babylon ain't even giving you nothing for real. You don't own nothing. And that's they say you'll own nothing and you'll love it, man. But you know, we'll get back. Let's get that second Ezra, then we'll get back to that.
2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Yeah, it ain't talking about no race war. It's gonna be a class war. It's gonna be a location war. You know what I'm saying? North Omaha versus South Omaha, and all that. It's gonna be races sticking together, okay? But it ain't gonna be South Omaha and all them niggas, like all the white people, they link up and they push all the Issacharites out. And, no, man. Wherever you stay at your neighborhood, you're gonna protect that area. That's why it's gonna be a class war, because the rich is gonna have their area. They're gonna try to protect what they have, just like during Katrina. They protected the St. Charles area, which is that mostly the historical white area where the slave plantations were and all that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to whoever got that fucking other plantation burned down. But the point is that because even in Katrina they say that a flood happened, but like the Ninth Ward is Jake area. That's all Jake, man. In St. Charles, uptown, right? That's Esau's area, Metairie, St. Charles, River a little bit. You know, across the river had no problems. But the point is that New Orleans is a bowl. And if you let that water fill up, eventually it'll get up to St. Charles and all those areas.
Yeah.
And the night was at the bottom of the bowl. Okay, so they pretty much blew the levees to let all the water seep into that area, so it didn't get to the uptown area. All right, so that shows you they'll choose classes. And then another time, on top of that, when everybody was seeking refuge and trying to go over to cross the bridge and go to Metairie, you had Edomites with guns telling you to turn back around. Even if they knew you, get the hell off my block. You can go YouTube that. Yep. It's on YouTube. Okay?
Call them by name.
Yeah, call them by name. Like, man, nah, you can't pass through here. So people think because you're walking around and you've been constructed how to act like an American. Like I was watching this one video, and Edomite was saying pretty much, why can't we all just act civilized? And the dude responds like, nigga, when you say that, you pretty much saying you want me to act like you.
Yeah.
Not like we all just be ourselves and have a base communication. You're telling me, nigga, it's civilized. It's me sitting with my elbow, you know, sitting how you taught me how to eat and shit. You know, probably was how Jake, you know, you never know. But Esau collect all that shit and create his own identity and then say this is civilization. This is being civilized. Well, hey, the Greece.
Yeah.
They say that's the beginning of civilization when it's not. Like Egypt and the Medo-Persian Empire and the Syrian Empire was some mighty ass kingdoms, bro. Like, how are you just gonna say the civilization started in Greece and these niggas built pyramids and shit? Well, niggas, we the niggas that built it. Okay? Yeah, you know.
Babylon,
like,
Samaria.
Yeah, the Bronze Age, the Assyrians bringing fucking metal into their swords and shit,
Yep.
Iron into their swords.
Yep.
But civilization began at Greece. Okay, these dudes were following constellation stars, making architectural advances that, like the dome. Always talk about the dome. They lost that technology and they gained it in the Renaissance through Michelangelo and them. Them niggas was pretty much engineers. Okay, they was just pretty much engineers. They just weren't artists. All right, they had them dudes paint them things to push an agenda. They had them create war machines. All right, they had them creating all kind of shit, man.
Leave like the first flying thing or something. First plane or something.
That nigga built a tank. You know what I'm saying? He had a tank. It was like a little thing, and it was like a dome thing. It had little lids, and niggas had spears, you know, and arrows that you could pop out. Like, this nigga was a modern day Teemanite, man. You know, like and it's crazy because I ain't gonna go into that. I'm let that brother Bill. Did you finish reading that?
No.
We'll finish reading that. You know, 'cause it man, Esau's all over doing dumb shit, man. Go ahead, Bill.
2nd Esdras 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Testosterone's gonna rule. What? Yo, call the police. You know, nigga women gonna still be fighting because she's invincible.
One of the brothers said the big woman is indestructible. They see a motherfucker get ran over
through a
a
grocery
building,
store.
bro.
Like,
Yeah.
they got up and started fighting, bro. Like, got the fuck on. Like, came back, started squabbling and shit.
What's in that weed?
It all started with the bus driver uppercut. When I seen him eat
You
those,
going to jail
she ate
now?
that motherfucker, bro.
Bro, she ate
Like,
that
she
shit.
did that bitch like Tyson. He followed through.
Man.
He followed through. She ate that motherfucker. So, you know, Esau, y'all gonna have to do some extra to them. You know? Like, y'all they full of y'all GMOs, bro. Like,
Right.
y'all done
That's
suit them up.
That's who they created the super soldiers.
Right. They created the super soldiers.
It's all about endurance. You know? Like,
It's all about it.
That's why the lithium battery was created, to outlast the nigga one.
Woo!
It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yep, because it's testosterone, man. Who got the biggest muscles? Who can fuck who up in here? Who got the biggest gun? All right, give me that. Lay it down. That shit that niggas scared. Oh, y'all nigga, but y'all see Jake out here doing what's gonna be happening. How Jake is doing right now in poverty, you know, walk up to you, lay it down, lay it down. Out your ass on. That's gonna be your average day when you walking up down in Jacob's trouble. See niggas with shiesties on. You gonna see Edomites with shiesties on. You gonna see everybody with shiesties on. Every man gonna start. Fuck a shite. They ain't gonna walk around with damn shiesties, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, they gonna be ready. Give me that.
Yeah. Walking by some playing knockout games. They gonna knock your ass out. They gonna knock you out, eat you. You know? If niggas was eating belts and grass, they would eat you. Okay? Nigga didn't skip over human beings and then start eating grass. Alright?
Right.
They was eating people, man. The scriptures tell you that.
It's coming.
And Israelites was doing it, so how much more with heathen?
Yep.
Okay?
Just like Bob on Walking Dead. Wake up and eat your fucking leg.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, I remember that was happening on something.
Tangy meat.
After they came out the church or something, huh?
Yep. They called his ass Slippy.
God is that.
That's the thing is that go ahead.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For
You know,
because
because at a point Esau, Jacob's trouble is there's a lot of things that's going to be going along with that stirring of the pot. All right, you're going to have those, you know, the 15-minute city concepts. You're going to have sanctions. You're going to have regulations. Your ass ain't going to be able to go across border to border. Okay? Why you going over here? It's riots and shit like that. What are you moving around? Just like when martial law hit back in New Orleans, bro. You couldn't just hop up and go somewhere anytime. They had a curfew, nigga. You had to go inside at a certain time. You couldn't. When they came through during Katrina, when they came through, if your ass had a gun, they were seizing that shit and taking your shit, whether you had it legally or illegally. You know what I'm saying? Again, whether you had it legally or illegally, give me that fucking gun. I know my mom.
Yep.
Gun butt. Mom put zip ties on you because they ain't there to arrest you. Think about that. The military walking around with zip ties.
Right.
They was not there to arrest. ARs and zip ties that's not a combination of, no, I might use these motherfuckers. Why the fuck I'm gonna have a zip tie on a nigga that I'm in danger with? I ain't gonna do that. You gave me an AR and a zip tie. How you want me to stop it? Give me an option. I feel like I could bust through a zip tie like that little midget. I could break these stuffs. I feel like that with a zip tie for sure. You know? Watch too many movies, nigga.
Right.
Yeah. Like James Bond, nigga.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Yep. Men shall be afraid.
I'm gonna say because of, like it said, because of their pride. Because you said people they done got comfortable. That's what made you pride. Oh, this can't happen. That can't happen. This will never happen. In the sense of we always gonna have food in the stores. I'm always gonna have a job. My kids gonna be able to grow up and live. And that's the thing. The second coming always had to happen. It's just nobody thought. If everybody thought it wouldn't happen in their time, then the Lord would never be able to come back. That's why He's not coming on your time.
Look how they panicked when fucking 2020 hit with water and fucking toilet paper. You could not find it. You could not find certain resources, and the price went up. There was another point we was talking about the other day where motherfuckers filled the back of their truck up with gas and shit.
Fucking safety hazard.
Right,
Wait, like they poured.
Ain't no more safety hazards.
And the Pope.
You know, it's just regular.
It's
What
whatever.
you think, it ain't about Esau education. no more.
It ain't about civilization.
Yeah, it's about making it happen. And some niggas don't know how to get a tank that accepts gas and how to put a lid on it and the pressure and the heat. Niggas something to put that shit in the back, put some tarp. Because I would have did that shit. Tied that shit up.
Yeah.
Zip ties.
Same zip ties you broke out of.
Yeah, same zip ties I broke out of.
I had to keep. I knew they'd be good for something one day.
Yeah. You feel me? Like that's what's gonna happen. You got a lot of niggas that aren't educated like that.
Yeah.
And they gonna make it happen, man.
And Esau, that's how Esau wanted. That's exactly how he wanted. He sent you to do school, not to survive if ever an MMP happened or certain situations would happen. He just said, like, bro, been going on for the past month or so. It's so you can be conditioned, man. So you can just go to work.
Yeah, you're fully relying on the government, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just reading it, talking to the brothers about it today, man. As a matter of fact, I actually got it. I was looking at it. I was studying it earlier. The last little paragraph I read. It says the statement on the paragraph is occasional letter number 1. It says, in our dreams, people yield themselves with perfect velocity to our molding hands. You know what I'm saying? And when I heard that, I'm thinking about, well, the Lord's the hands that mold everybody. But Esau is doing what? Sitting on the throne as the Most High, thinking himself that he is the Most High, so he wants to be the molding hands. And he does that through his propaganda. Okay? It says the present educational conventions of intellect and moral education fade from our minds and unhampered by tradition, we work our own goodwill upon a grateful and responsive folk. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers or men of learning or men of science. We have not to raise up from among them authors, educators, poets, of men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, and lawyers, nor lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen. And you gotta think about what's AI doing right now, getting rid of all these aspects right the fuck now, because they don't need them no more.
Yeah.
At first they needed like one artist, one doctor, one entertainer. Now you really don't need any of them because you got AI to just reflect and resemble that. All right. It says, of whom we have an ample supply. You see, they have an ample supply of all these people. The task we set before ourselves is very simple. We will organize children to teach them to do in a perfect way the things their fathers and mothers are doing in an imperfect way, which is being obedient to the system. Okay? In other words, they didn't want brains or talent, just obedience. Who is this? The we here. The mission statement of the General Education Board should be read more than once. This is a statement from the General Education Board. And the General Education Board was started by the Rockefellers. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing that there's a level of programming going on, and a level of thinking, and Jake don't get it. So that's why CNN, governments, and all that, that's just a room. So once you get programmed to operate a certain way, they put you in a room to do it. Just like you go to a job, they train you to do shit, you know, like with Airlight. Have your ass go in there and you pick up the box and shit, and go test you out. So when you go on a real training ground, your ass is you've been tested, tried and true to do what they need you to do. And that's what they do through constant predictive programming. So once you come and step into their world, you already are equipped to function in this society.
I was gonna say another thing about that place is they take you in, you know, when you in orientation, if you can pick up the lids, oh yeah, we can have him in lids. If you can do this, so they can fit you where it best needs. And that's why the education system, they see and checking out, okay, yeah, it'd be good. And it, you know, now they kind of like buy people out, because at the end of the day, you can't stop Jake's greatness. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, if you can't beat them, then, you know, have them join us pretty much. So they'll buy you out. You got inventors or good doctors or scientists, things of that. They just give you the money to be on their side, man.
But now we're getting AI.
But then now, yeah.
So it's going to start eliminating these great thinkers, these great speakers.
Yeah. Because now they doing the videos and shit. You know, just show me this and that. And you got you can watch a whole damn, what they gonna need Ryan Coogler for? That's his name?
Yeah.
Coogler, E.T. Thomas, David Goggins. I got you on the internet. And I can take all y'all and put y'all together like Shang Tsung and then use AI to recreate you in a perfect manner. I could take Kevin Samuels, he's dead and gone, right? they could sit there and take all his videos, inject it as data into AI, and AI could recreate another Canvas sandwich, man. Yep. That nigga could come up with his own content every day.
Yeah.
Based off that calculated, the response and the speaking and this and that.
That's crazy.
So they think they don't need the salt anymore. Okay?
Precept. This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands."
And that night represent those roads, those think tanks. Okay? It says, can somebody get that? They grow weary. You know what I'm saying? They grow weary with the bullshit they keep on trying to pull. Okay? Adderall, Ritalin, Tramadol, promethazine, whatever, all this fucking, and then you create it, and then now you gotta go on drugs, and then, it's this endless shit that they're sitting there thinking, how can we just be sneaky again? You know, and control is ultimately to control people. Okay?
This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 13. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Yeah, they are weary in their councils. They sit there in these think tanks, in these politician offices, these political spots, these scientific labs, and just sit here and just try to come up with shit, man. Not to how to refine something that you already got. You trying to make new foods. You trying to splice shit. All right. Meanwhile, you treating the fucking earth like shit through the crops that you already growing with. Okay. Ain't nothing worse than a nigga worry about something else than when he ain't got the shit that he got under control already. You know, you fucking up money sending me a Ferrari for my dream car. First, you couldn't pay your fucking bills the other week. What you talking about a Ferrari for? That's Esau every fucking day. What about we block the sun? How about stop? You know what I'm saying? Like, how about you know, I got ore. You know,
Let's fix this shit first.
you know.
Well, you know, if your daughter dies, you can clone it. You know, they're trying to bring that mainstream.
It's was it more than that?
No, that's it too.
It's Isaiah 24 verse 4 says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth
Oh,
away."
no, they got some more to that.
All right, come.
Hold that though, brother.
Okay.
Right, jump up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go up. Come. Okay.
Hold that to it.
Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 8. It says, "Therefore hear now this, thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly."
Right at the gate, because I was thinking that I'm like, man, Esau doing all this shit, but our people gonna still follow him because they're programmed. Why? Because they're programmed to deal carelessly. They're programmed for comfort. Okay, Esau give you enough comfort, and he'll tell you he'll take it away. They do it all the fucking time. Your ass could drive, you could get a job, you could get guns, you could do all that. But if you disobey what I tell you to do, i.e. veer through their laws, I'm going to take certain rights away. Okay? Unforgiving too. Your ass will be out of jail and scot-free, and they still won't let you get a job. Your ass got to be an entrepreneur at that point and work at McDonald's. You know, no matter how good you are at your craft, you know, you can repent and be a fucking legit astronaut, and they won't. No, he's a felon. Exactly. But Trump could get president, get back in office. They omit it when it comes to their own. You know?
That sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, and that's what he does, man. And that's what that's his mindset. And he's trying to establish that on the planet Earth through his civilization. I am and none else besides me. They're the cradle of civilization. No, they're not. Okay? How the hell are you the cradle of civilization and Nimrod was building a tower to the sky to reach the heavens, man? All right? You struggling with skyscrapers. This dude was trying to reach the Lord, man.
Right. The hanging gardens. You
And Esau hate on the hanging gardens because maybe they exist. You know why he says it? Because he can't come up with that technology. Well, he can now through his modern day aqueduct, aka his plumbing system. He can, push water up. You know what I'm saying? But shit, when you read about it, man, it was totally possible. Okay, but it's speculated that way, but we don't. And then you once you get into the details of the speculation, it's based off of what they think is possible and it's not possible. It's not like, nigga, like there's no historical accounts. Motherfuckers got wiped out. All right, or the kings, certain kingdoms didn't like the Syrian Empire. The Syrian Empire wasn't people that wrote things down like that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just like that, man. Jake do that shit all the fucking time. Be doing some amazing shit and don't record it or write it down.
We'll create a motherfucking recipe and don't write it down. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you had to be there.
Yeah. They didn't have any definitive proof that the Assyrian Empire existed until they found them bones in 2024 of the angel smiting those 185,000 soldiers.
Yep.
So it helped to prove.
But they found them clay tablets. And they there was something about clay tablets, but that proves the biblical aspect. They be playing games with that. The Ark of the Covenant, they just you can tell we're close to the end because they just opened up. I think I don't know how true it is, but it said that they opened up to be able to go explore like Mount Ararat and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like we at the end of this thing, man. They had that shit closed off for a long ass time, man. I wouldn't be surprised they said they found the Ark of the Covenant, man.
They said they did, bro. I was just thinking that's crazy you said that. They said what they perceive to be the Ark of the Covenant is they got some device, right? They have some device that they basically can see through the ground. It's like an X-ray through the ground and shit. And down there, it's giving off certain type of this.
Yeah, it said like nuclear radiation, something like that.
And they can see the shape of it and all of it. It's y'all want to be the Lord so bad.
Hey, bro, I'll be watching. Like I'll be on Netflix and I'll come past something and they say the Great Mystery. I just go right. I used to be intrigued. Oh shit, documentaries and shit. I'm like, oh shit, especially like historical shit that you niggas be lying about. I just pass right by because I know y'all about to lie some more.
Yeah.
And give me CGI and all these fucking graphics.
Right.
To I be arguing with Jake in the world. He be like, geeking out thinking that shit. So I'm like, oh, that's what it's for. That shit ain't. It's all a lie. Just because you make it look good, don't make it true.
Right.
But that's the devil, man. That's what he do. He's a deceiver. Okay, he don't just lie. I ain't do it. He's a great actor too. Okay, his ass will set it up, pay people. He'll pay 80 people in a room to go along with something. You know what I'm saying? And to tell you, he goes to great lengths to deceive people, man.
Shit, the moon landing.
Yeah.
How the hell? Just real quick. How the hell you land on the moon? What was that? The 1969. 50, 60, 60?
69.
How you land on the moon then? Y'all had communications, video footage and all that. And then just this recent event. This was happening. This feed was disrupted and all of that. No, you're lying. Just roll with it.
That Wi-Fi was hitting, huh?
Y'all went there over 50 years ago.
Wi-Fi was retarded.
Let me get some of that then, cause I be going crazy on Call of Duty.
That 1990, whatever they went on the moon.
69. Oh, yes, 1969.
1969. That Wi-Fi. What Wi-Fi was created?
Wi-Fi was not a thing in 69, bro. I don't
internet
believe it.
itself was created like 5 years later.
How to get the video?
Around that same time, by 1970s.
How did you get the video
when
linked
CERN brought
to
in
the
internet?
These niggas was on the phone, bro.
They had the cloud.
These niggas was on the phone on the moon with niggas on Earth, bro. That don't make no sense.
Like, your ass broke through space. Back to Earth.
Satellite in there.
Broke through space. Back to Earth. Because when you think about the actual technology of a phone or any type of radio signal, it's primarily built off bouncing off the firmament.
Yeah.
How the fuck you send a signal from the moon through the firmament to Earth
and broadcast it on TV?
and then send it back? And you telling them you breaking through the firmament, directing the shit directly to the bro.
That don't make no sense, bro. Stop
How the
playing.
fuck no, man. That's like connecting, like you. It's like connecting. You know, you got two mountains, and you just able to just connect a bridge from there. You know,
And that's the thing with today is motherfuckers ask questions now. Back then, motherfuckers just amazed. Like you said, they give you the CGI, make it look all good, and it grasps you in. You can't do that shit no more. Now motherfuckers like, well, hold up, how did this? And boom, boom, boom. People was probably amazed as hell. Y'all so-called landed on the moon. Ain't no reason to ask questions. This is what it said. One small
with that
step,
big
man.
ass boot.
Yeah.
Like damn, this nigga getting jiggy. That was in our time, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just like that dumbass shit that brother was talking about when they came down to all women and shit.
Yeah. No helmets.
No helmets, man. No safety precautions. These bitches got makeup on. That shit ain't flying in no fucking like.
They went to the moon and back in 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah, they went out of space and came back.
20
Because
minutes.
you can't go underwater for a certain length and come back up because of oxygen, because of blood and oxygen in your blood. You can't do the same fucking thing out there. You can't go out there and start chilling and then just come back fucking down. And, you know what I'm saying? You gotta. Well, they probably trying to say that when you're sitting in that pod and shit. But your blood gotta regulate. You know what I'm saying? Your oxygen, the O2 in your blood. Fuck, you gonna be out there chilling and just come down here with no fucking mask, no nothing, no helmet, as the brother saying, and your ass come back kissing the ground like you been somewhere. You know?
Yeah, the G-forces, because like you can watch like air pilots, you know what I'm saying, in these new Air Force planes, and like when you hit a certain amount of G's, your face start screwing up and
like,
people pass out. But they went all the way to space at 10 fucking G's, and they makeup is all pristine and they celebrate.
You can't have makeup on going out there. That's a hazard. That's a hazard. You don't know what that shit'll do. You know? And seep into your skin and shit.
and at the speed they did it,
Damage.
they wasn't even out there that long. Like, they came right back and they landed all neat and shit. Like, you don't think like there was no marks on a pod or nothing?
But why is that significant? Why is landing on the moon? This is what I'm saying. Like they're rearing their wickedness. Because why would you do a moon landing? Why would you do the Renaissance? It's all about control.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell everybody how powerful you are. You're showing them the signs and wonders of heaven to persuade men.
This is Jeremiah 31 and 35. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roared. The Most High Yahweh of hosts is his name. And if those ordinances depart from before me, said the Most High, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus said the Most High, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundation of earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, said the Most High Yahweh.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying their best.
Yep.
But they only searched out 20% of the ocean. You can't get down there. How the hell you gonna get into outer space?
Praise the Lord.
How the hell you gonna get into outer space and you can't even get into the ocean? Okay?
He's trying. He's like, I gotta do one. He said, if I can search out the heavens or search out the earth beneath, then he can do away with them niggas. I'm about to try. We got to try at least both. Because what happened when the motherfuckers went down in the little submarine shit?
That shit treated their ass like a coke can.
It exploded in that bitch.
But here it is, bro. You got whales that can go deep as fuck. You got animals
Man,
that's
so
not even huge,
Bro.
that can be at the bottom of the ocean, bro.
Right.
So, and with Esau and his pseudoscience, he's telling you it's pressure and it causes that. But why, if it's pressure, why can't this little fish exist so deep down in the water? That don't make any sense.
That's the Lord crushing their ass.
Yeah, there's elements the Lord stopped. You know what I'm saying? He don't allow certain metals and certain things, and like a fucking animal running at a certain speed supposed to overheat you, and the way they breathe, it cools them down.
Yep.
That's the technology of the Lord, man.
Got you, bro. That's like you said earlier. The Lord is what molds and shapes everything and everybody, man, for whatever purpose. We're all according to His will, man.
But Esau's trying to mold and shape us now, like he said, we're talking about, and he's trying to do it through vitamin pills and shit. You know what I'm saying? Give your ass these medicines and all that. But that shit is all left-handed. It's all temporary. It's all half-assed. Okay?
It says, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 39. It says, all flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds.
And Esau don't even know how to respect that. Okay? Even in the with the Nephilim or the Napoleon, okay? They the angels, the fallen angels, they came down here and had man. All right, even in a theory, they believe that you can just fuck with all that. No, you can't lay there and lay with no dog. There'll be a lot of white bitches pregnant with horses right now. And dogs. Okay, having a lot of half breed, because they be getting a lot of dogs being pregnant with humans, have Edomite half dogs out here. All right, laying with goats, a lot of half Arab, half goats. Cause they be out there and talk about ham, man. I don't know what they be doing.
Cow.
That's what they do on camera. They don't tell them what they do on
Motorboating. Motorboating their cow food.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Go ahead.
But yeah, I have a quick precept. So Revelation 19 verse 6, it says, and I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, and the voice of many waters, and as the voice of
Spit out some.
Y'all do it lightly. It's no, bro.
You ain't going nowhere.
Just go. Fuck it. Just fuck up everything down the street. Fuck it. We shouldn't be out here, I guess he said. Y'all shouldn't be out here. Listen, like,
A lot of y'all shit, man. It's key out of y'all. Key out of y'all. Shut all this shit down next week.
Somebody got their catalytic converter, bro.
So Isaiah 24 and verse 4, it says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, and broke the everlasting covenant.
Yeah, and man, it's our people, but the whole world, man. All right, they changed ordinances. All right, and that's the thing, is that they created their own civilization that's contrary to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They break the land Sabbath. They eat any kind of animal. All right. Again, if the Lord can make an animal hit 60 miles and do that normally, have a polar bear be able to do certain things, endure fucking. Come on, man. Like, to be in the fucking Antarctic water and you're swimming, that's your life. You need to be there.
Yeah.
Like, there ain't like the fur of an animal, bro. We got hair on our head, and our hair don't measure to the fur of an animal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is getting yeast infections and shit, because y'all want to shave y'all pussy and shit. That's supposed to block that shit. Just like your nose hair is supposed to block. You know what I'm saying? But Esau, you're not civilized. You got furry pussy. So now you're out here walking around with a yeast infection. Now you fucking the hairs in your nose, breathing in all kind of fucking toxins and shit.
Damn.
Because he want the aesthetics. He don't care about the purpose, the function.
Bro, like,
And then you start getting yeast infections, he come up with pills and shit because he still wants you to shave that cootie. You know? That's like he's a big ass kid running the world, man.
Yeah.
And a bully of one. Like a kid with a big ass stick, just walking around hitting people with it. That little crazy badass kid. You know?
Everybody, adults, old,
Yeah.
kids, dogs,
Swing
all
that
that.
man. He ran him. He's get you. He'll rat you out. You know? That nigga's the perfect villain, man. The Lord created him to be the perfect hammer, man. Yeah, that's what scriptures say.
In Psalms says the Lord's sword. You know, gave him the power of the sword. That was his blessing. He's that black horse that goes throughout the earth, taking peace from the earth, man. It's bringing death.
He took peace from relationships, communication, texting niggas taking that shit wrong. You feel me? Like, what the fuck he said? What?
She on that dumb shit again.
Okay.
Okay, nigga. Okay.
Like, you know, like, but you could DM them fast as hell. You know, like now you getting radio waves because you walking around talking to your auntie and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the type of society that we're in. That people, oh, you know, it's so advanced. I'm talking to my auntie every day. I used to only could talk to her once, but y'all got to sit down and have eye contact. You got to sit down, look, and keep game, and you know, and really have a vibe, man.
It's like everything that Esau gives you comes with a price. Everything he gives you comes with a price. Yeah. It might be easy, it might seem beneficial, or whatever, but it comes with a price. And he ain't gonna tell you the price up front, just like you speaking about the radiation. No, he buried that shit deep down in the about settings in your phone.
Like Takis and hot Cheetos, bro. They don't tell you like, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's like blatant, nigga. At one point when they found out about uranium, they had women, even their own, licking her fucking, yeah, you need to lick that motherfucker so you can really get it good. These motherfuckers licking nuclear fucking radioactivity. And then these motherfuckers started dying. And they did just like they did in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Put up one of those. I don't know what the fuck, man. It definitely wasn't what they were licking them tips of the paintbrush. That's what it was.
It definitely wasn't that. I don't know what the hell it was, bro.
What it is, but fucking soccer players, the best hearts, the best hearts in the world. Boom, cardiac problems. Or board the Bills. Football players do fucking 100, what is that, 110s, 10 hundreds, whatever that shit is, when you gotta do something for every 10 yards. Pretty much you're going all the way down to the 100 from end zone to end zone, bro.
Yeah.
Shit hurt, cardio wise. It's like fucking line to line. All the way.
It's like suicide. Go all the way down the field.
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
And you out there after 2020, you can't handle a fucking play.
I don't know what that was.
You can't handle a game. Ain't like a game is you like doing it 3 times and they sit you on the bench. They get you up, you do it 3-4 times. You might do it the whole field one time. You might just run the whole field. But damn it, you ain't gonna be running back and forth all day. Niggas passing out, dying. When I seen a soccer player have a heart problem, and then they get on the news and like, definitely wasn't from y'all conspiracy theorists. Bringing out their incredulities. Okay? They won't get on TV and tell you that trees ain't shit. And that we need to create fake trees that put out CO2 emissions. Bro, this nigga's, he a bitch, bro. He like, or receive CO2. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody talk about where we gonna get the oxygen from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If that motherfucker full of CO2.
Burning the Amazon forest, the lungs of the earth.
Yeah.
Demon,
but I tell you what, because the world was, there was, I forget the exact breakdown, but when that 2020 situation happened, the Amazon forest started flourishing and clearing up a lot of the air and you could see it through the satellite, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
It was like, I forget the exact breakdown, but it was like visible that the Amazon forest was healing a portion of that earth, and you could visibly see it through how it's either like the trees or the clouds or something like that.
If I'm not mistaken, it was like that in a couple spots because it wasn't as many cars and shit on the roads.
New York, niggas riding on a bike like, man, it's the cleanest air I ever breathed.
Yeah, it's
but
like
they'll tell you that
Los Angeles.
CO2 is like us making paper bags and cow farts and shit is just destroying everything. You know, it's these fucking cars, but you need people to ride in these cars so they can keep working your capitalistic, hyper-productive system. You need niggas working 12s, putting out 80,000 units every fucking day, and the only way they're gonna get to and back and to and fro is in a car. So you're not gonna openly admit it's a car because you're too fucking greedy and you rest judgment, man.
It definitely ain't the battery.
Yeah, it ain't the battery. It ain't that black ass smoke. When you know you hit the gas and that shit, you're like, God damn. You can look at that shit like that don't belong in the air, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. Because it evaporates, people don't. It's still there. It's it's all every time you hit that fucking exhaust, the shit is coming out. That's why it needs an exhaust system to get the fuck out of there, so it don't be all stuck up in there. Fuck the engine up and all of that.
Right.
Pumping metals all in the air, like the brother was saying, like to reflect the light from the sun. Also putting metals in you, man.
Yeah.
Breaking your ass down, man. Tearing your insides up. That's metal shards, bro. You may not feel it, but that shit ain't meant to. It ain't no fucking jelly balls rolling through your veins. That's metal. That shit catch, stick. You know, your ass getting fucking magnetic, radioactive, all this popping, pumping everywhere you go. You know, got hella shit and bread, hella fucking pesticides all on the fruits and vegetables. You know, like, god damn, bro, this place is oppressive, man.
Yeah.
And that's why the scriptures say, no, get that, but it says, knowledge, much knowledge increases bitterness, man. Because the more you start finding out about like we gotta go vegan, bro. You damn near gotta go. I'm not saying this as a decree type shit, but in order to eat healthy, then you damn near gotta go vegan. You got niggas arguing about why fucking regular milk ain't good, and they got a good point. It fucks you up. Why it fucks you up? Because they're putting so much shit in that shit, man. Okay.
Grab this real quick. Second Ezra 4:26. It says, "Then answered he me and said, The more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away."
Yeah, yep. The more that, because we're seeing, and the world is not gonna, because the earth abided forever. All right. But the world, this society, hastens to pass away, is degenerate. Okay. That's like watching two dumbasses getting a kid, and they driving wild, and you're like, oh, nigga end up dead in jail. That's the society. It's going to end up dead or in jail. The way it's going. Women don't even want to deal with men the proper way. Niggas just fucking on business, having babies and not, raising their kids. You ain't got time to raise your children.
Yeah.
You know, you make money, but you can't even build your empire with that money. You just living. You ain't living to leave nothing behind. You know what I'm saying? The things you leave behind can be taken away through Esau's circulatory system of oppression via taxes. You can work your whole fucking life, pay a house off, live about 3 years, and you pass away and give your kid the house. And then if they ever change it into their name, and they have to, then they're going to have to pay the sales tax or whatever fucking tax it is. You know what I'm saying? And then they got to owe that, and what if they don't have a job and all this and that? You know what I'm saying? Now you can't keep it in your name, and Esau can low-key take it anytime he wants. But then he know a system of circulating. He could be a real estate investor. He'll put. So you take the credit, go to the bank, get the loan, buy the house, sell the house, but never get the money so you don't get hit with the tax, and you get all this fucking goofy ass shit. If you don't want to get sued, you just turn yourself into a corporation. No, bro, like why I gotta be all this shit, bro?
Yeah.
Alright? I didn't mean to do it. If I did it, I had to repay what I repaid. Why I gotta do all this? Why I gotta pay insurance for years and years and years, and I don't get in a car wreck and I gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? You done paid the car off. Like I said, man, to be fair, nigga, I'll pay you extra. I'll pay you $5,000 more than what the car's worth, just for looking out for me. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you do that, you'll make money. You know, I was watching this one video with the mango ice creams. The bitch talking about these motherfuckers. Like they like $15 to like 2 for 15 or something. They get a certain amount for 15, and she broke it down. It's like $10 or something like that. It was a decent little price per mango thing, and she made it herself. And this shit came up to like 5 cents, 69. I think like 69 cents or something like that. And she was pushing it. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, they're making triple the cost. They're talking about jewelers, man. All these niggas going to Johnny Dang and all that shit. They say they price up these motherfucking shit 10 times the value of what the actual the cost of it is, and to make it and all that, man.
Everything is about $1, bro.
Yeah, everything is about capitalism.
Capital, yeah.
Squeezing every fucking thing out of anything and everybody. Fucking digging up the earth, bro. This earth can't sustain you taking that much oil out of it. Alright? That's like taking fucking joints out your knee. That's like taking all your LCLs and fucking all your ligaments out. All the fucking cartilage that be in between. You gotta use your cartilage for something on your, you know, and you keep taking it out and taking it out. You might take a little chip in it on, but the shit that's made off of crude oil ain't just fucking gas. T-shirts, pens, plastics, all that shit's made off of crude oil, man.
And if you think about plastics, they don't got steel cars no more. You know, it ain't made from metal no more. It's all plastic.
Yeah, yep. It's like that fiberglass type of thing.
345. 345.
Yes, sir.
I got a precept. It's Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Yeah, there's a lot of matter of fact, you read the rest of it.
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah, the whole Renaissance period. Riches gotten by deceit. How did they even get into that position? It was by deceit, man. All right, starting with the Herod, the Herodian dynasty, sneaking their way in, then Constantinople, the Nicene Council, the way they even got in there, and the way they did King James dirty, spreading lies saying he was a homosexual, and you dumbass bitch ass niggas believe that shit because you want to hold true to where you want to believe in, and not use no logic and do your real fucking research. Right, and be fair and not rush judgment because you so narcissistic about your own beliefs that you'll just read that and say, "Oh yeah, it's true," because I wanted to be like that. But when you go and do the research, all of it is hearsay. There's no factual evidence of anybody seeing him walk hand in hand with no fucking man in history or doing any sexual. It was all, well, I heard. If somebody did that to you in real life, you wouldn't believe that shit. Unless you're a messy ass whole ass nigga. I heard about such and such. And he be doing this like, well, I don't see him doing that.
Yeah.
So you get the fuck on away from me with all that shit, because if you doing that to him, you'll do it to me.
They take you to court for slander these days for that.
Yeah. They slander this man whole historical account, man. All right, but that's their riches gotten through by deceit, because what happened was he was on their ass. All right, he wasn't allowing shit to happen that they was trying to propose and do. Okay, and he was being a hindrance to them, and they was still trying to be their scholarly, walking around, and King James is shitting on that shit. Not like in an attacking manner. It was just his bravado. He was on point. And Esau hates that, bro. He hates when you on point, especially when he can't control you. He loves you when you're on point when he can control you. Okay? Shador Sanders, right? You could be great as possible, but if you ever show me that I can't control you, I don't want you, man. Because you're not going to be abide by my system, and you're going to prove that you could be so-called successful without abiding by my rules. Yep. Then you're going to incentivize people to not want to abide by my rules. Now there's a new culture. Because imagine, you know, you get somebody like Shador, like, no, I don't want no fucking agent. Got my dad, Lamar Jackson, I got this. That's why they was like, oh, hell no. Because I'm giving you this money, but I got a system to take it all back. Yeah. And a lane of it is an agent. You know, sure they're useless, but I made y'all believe that they are. Now your ass won't wisen up. All right, nigga, I'm gonna make your ass a fifth rounder. You know, and this is just little shit. This is the blatant shit that we see. That Jake, oh man, no, he's probably this, he's probably that.
Yeah, fucking Edomite goes, well, did you see that not championship game, but the playoff game? He didn't really play good. I'm like, man, fuck all that. You know what they're capable of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, he's deacon and dunking. He's doing this.
Slide the fifth round off one game.
So
they turn that whole program around.
They say he a dink and dunker, right? There's a thing called a West Coast offense.
Exactly.
That's slated off of that.
Exactly.
In professional sports, in the NFL, there's a West Coast offense that's built off of that. But he ain't good because that's what he do. No, that's Esau. They always there to demonize whatever thing great we do because again, they got to sit on top of us and remain in control. Meanwhile, they can't produce shit, man. Okay.
Then you get
there's it's proof. Like all these Edomite quarterbacks, and this ain't about sports, but it's just about the politics of what we're capable of, right? Yeah. There was never no they'll let one black quarterback, a so-called African American Israelite quarterback, they'll give you a 1 or 2. Look at all these Jake quarterbacks that's popping up and showing you how capable they are.
Yep.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Through to the East, Jacob versus Esau, the Bills ain't never beat the Chiefs yet. Shit. Chiefs got their ass up out of there. Then in the Super Bowls, it was Jake versus Jake. 2 Jake quarterbacks, man. All the most predominant teams, you know, the Redskins, man. Jake quarterback going crazy.
Yeah, now they want to make a documentary about black NFL quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a thing because it's something you can't hide. Nigga, you can't take the salt away. Yeah. You know?
Yep. Because at sometimes that shit rolls downhill, you're gonna have some Edomites to say, nah, I'd rather win in that version to sit here with this fucking loser.
Yeah.
You know? That's just that nigga Tyler Gabriel, that nigga. Yo, nobody out here. I just made this. I don't know if that's his real name, but his nigga last name Gabriel or something like that. Yes. And ain't nobody really talking about this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
They talk about it, but it ain't good.
Yeah, ain't no fucking headlines. You know? And we the salt of the earth, bro. We're better. We're a peculiar people. Yep. Let's get that. Pop the shot.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power.
And holy is separate. Our ways are different from their ways. Our ways is the standard. What Esau's trying to do, that's what we're supposed to be doing. And that's why he continues to oppress us and try to silence us, because if we get powerful enough, our voice will be powerful. And it'll have you thinking different. Like I said, somebody like Shador showing you that you could be so-called successful and be yourself. And people think, I thought I had to walk around with a suit. Allen Iverson. They got mad at AI, but they got these niggas coming in looking dumb as hell in the NBA.
Dresses and purses and
and they recording, following a nigga. They hated AI because he was representative of being itself. And when you really get into that shit with the NBA and all that shit, it's really just capitalism because it's promotion. Mm-hmm. It's just an avenue. They sit there and them niggas walk around. They get paid to wear them dumbass outfits, man.
Yeah. And one nigga can change the game, but y'all got all these other weirdos doing it. You know what I'm saying? one motherfucker being himself, that ain't gonna do too much. You know?
It'll do something. Because so-called Dr. King, but they got control of him. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X, they got control of him. You know? And if I can't control you, just like that nigga in Nigeria, Ibrahim, they can't control that nigga, so they're gonna try to do him like Gaddafi, man. You know, them niggas need democracy. The nigga got on the news and said, well, he got the nigga from Nigeria. He went in. It was a Jake general in the U.S. Army was saying, yeah, they're using gold reserves now. And he tried to demonize them using gold reserves and start collecting their gold, right? And backing their money with gold, right? Which makes them actually powerful. It's not you're not strong based off my currency. They're strong based off of their currency now, and they're just saying, look, I use your money to represent the money I have. You know what I'm saying? And if you cut me off, I just use the gold.
Yeah.
You know, but Esau wanted to where you just use their money. So when they cut you off, you have nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they put sanctions on you. But that he came out and the general said, yeah, he out here, you know, using that gold. They're using that. They're talking about they collecting gold. These niggas collecting gold for their military. Like, y'all got a fucking $1 trillion budget for your military.
Right.
How else can you finance a military, nigga? Like, what the hell is you talking about? When we went to war, Israel went, before we looted. When we took all that and Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh settled on the other side of Jordan because there was a lot of riches that they came and plundered. Okay? Then when they crossed Jordan, they continued to get them riches, man. The warriors was really like the most prestigious, one of the a sect of people that's prestigious. The people, I ain't gonna say the most prestigious because you had scholars, you had leaders, you had medicine men, people that were actual helps to society, man. Okay? Not no fucking good ass worker bees and niggas that, because when your ass go to war, how many niggas you knocked out? That's your loot.
Yeah.
That's your loot. You know what I'm saying? Give me that. Let me get this helmet from you. Let me get this from you. Let me get that out. Let me get the socks up off you. You got your little honor band. Hold that for me. Let me get that up off you. Let me. And whoever did the most work, that's how rich you were. That makes sense. Not you going to school, sitting behind the desk. All right, I want 10 of you guys to go this way, 8 of you guys go that way, and then half them niggas die and you the man. That's how this society is now. It's some punk ass shit. Now it's even worse now. Now these niggas just sending drones over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This back in Deuteronomy 14:2, it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power, and the Lord had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth."
That's the definition of racism pertaining to online dictionary. Okay. The idea to think that your race is superior to other races. Esau tried to do it, and he tried his science, bro. He really tried to go into the density of our skull. See that the back of the skull is where the brain, that part is where it's subservient, and considering that it's thicker than the other people, that shows that is a little there. You know, I forget how they said that. The fact that it was thicker or thinner says that they have more brain mass or less, or how they worse to say, that's the indicator that these niggas are made for service. You know what I'm saying? Some goofy ass shit like that. Meanwhile, these niggas running away and shit. Like, my dog is meant to obey me.
Right.
And if I don't, you know, treat my dog properly, it's not gonna obey. Okay? That's the thing, like, but human beings are rebel against that. We're not meant to be oppressed like an animal, man. Okay, Jake will follow leaders, but Jake got like let's get that scripture. He gave man wisdom to speak. He said he gave, you know, I think Sirach said with the animal he was talking about he gave animals this and that, but what differentiates us from animals is our wisdom, our ability to cognitively think, and our ability to speak. That makes us different from animals. Okay, That's why Esau's trying to teach the monkeys sign language to try to create that connectivity and shit. You know? Oh. Stressed out.
Amy.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Y'all find it? But yeah, the Lord gave. We are above, creatures because we're able to think and process. We don't evolve. We didn't evolve from no monkeys. We didn't evolve from the Neanderthals. The Lord made us different as human beings, and then He took those human beings and then set apart a sect of Israelites. All right, not a sect of Israelites. He set apart Israelites, aka Adamites. All right, because before it was Israel, it was Adamites. Because that's another thing. Niggas try to go back to dates. Don't you know Egypt was before this? Well, I'll tell you what, nigga, Cain was before Israel, right? Hey, the Model T came before the Ferrari. But line them hoes up and see which one is more efficient. Okay? You got it?
Yeah.
The water, brother.
This is Sirach chapter 17, verse 1. The Lord created man of the earth and turned them into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein.
Yeah, Esau's trying to circumvent that, but he's trying to come up some other way. He ain't a race to apologize and repent. All right, you tell me I can't do this? I'm gonna have to keep doing this. I'm gonna find my way in. I'm gonna find my own way in. Create my own God. I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna create that. Bullshit, man. Okay.
He endued them with strength by themselves and made them according to His image, and put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave them dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place He imparted them understanding.
Jesus is love. Love you all, baby.
They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place.
Let's see how much power Jesus got. That shit is. Let's continue on.
And in the 6th place He imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech.
Yep.
And
so He gave us understanding, like we could perceive something, you could put 2 and 2 together. Okay, go ahead.
And in the 7th speech, an interpreter of the cogitations thereof.
Yeah. So common sense, man. So we're not animals, bro. Animal, you gotta beat and hurt them because they don't know how to think on their own per se. They don't know how to put 2 and 2 together. A dog not to shake your hand from you giving it a treat every time you put your fucking hand out and put it in their hand. It's just repetition. That don't make, dogs do have a some type of understanding, but it ain't through like, that nigga ain't just walk up and say, "What's up, bro?" Like, let me say,
Right.
No, nigga, you gotta teach them dogs that. If you don't teach a dog nothing, they ain't gonna learn how to do it.
Exactly.
You can make an animal do anything if you make them do it over and over again. All right.
Domesticate.
Esau find
You go ahead.
Esau find the most obscure similarities between humans and animals, and then be like, "See, this shows you this is a it upgraded over time." Like,
because that's all he got. That's why it's obscure, because you're not gonna take the fucking blatant things.
It'd be so detached, bro. Like,
See, because we have the opposable thumb, we can pick up things and gorillas can't do it because they.
the only other animal was monkeys.
Huh?
Right.
Why we ain't climbing trees? Why we leave climbing trees and just chose to start walking? That shit's an advantage.
Why is it still monkeys?
Why they not evolutionizing, bro?
Yeah, we that's that part, but why is we here? Why is there no connectivity from us to monkeys outside of the opposable thumb theory and the lips and the ears and shit? Like, why do our feet not resemble theirs if our hands do?
Right.
Why did we lose tails? Why ain't we climbing trees? Why are we not still vegetarians?
Well, their
It's
relation,
cold outside. Why we ain't got fucking fur?
right?
Why we ain't strong and shit like that? You de-evolved, nigga. Them niggas strong as hell. Thinking about them, niggas arguing with 100 niggas versus a gorilla.
That's all.
That's de-evolution.
That's
It's gonna take 100 How the fuck do we evolve, man? It takes 100 of you to beat one nigga.
Right, because evolution, the theory of evolution is you would get better over time. So you would keep the advantages and then get more advantages with it. You wouldn't lose strength and then gain the power to fucking grab or fucking turn the doorknob.
Coffee and shit.
You know?
They think that we got
Because
physically.
now you can drink coffee and make Fanta.
Like, that shit stupid, bro.
Fanta, orange Fantas and shit. Now you are better than this monkey. No, we are different, and we are better because we can think, and we always was able to think. Right? Animals just the Lord put the spirit in them to function based off of being a natural beast. All right, like your stomach growl. Oh shit, I'm hungry. Your ass smell what you need to be eating. You know what I'm saying? Just like we do it, but we got the ability to say, "Nah, I'm fasting." You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. You know? Now there's certain instinctual things. Animals are, mostly of instinct. They're, instinctual beings. Now the Lord put a spirit in them, or gave life in them, for them to operate. You know what I'm saying? And to have fear, to get angry. All right, but it's in the basis of a natural brute beast. They don't interpret things. They don't put two and two together. Yeah. All right. If you hit a dog, it's going to either fight or flight. All right, they're not gonna say they're whooping because they love you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say is, like this nigga, I can't beat him. So let me shut the fuck up. That's all it is. And Esau treat us like animals, man. Yeah. But like the scripture saying, I think it's Songs of Solomon said you can't control the spirit of a man, even though that's in reference of staying in the body and traveling to the heavens and coming, you can't control that, but you also can't control whether, niggas want chill or not. Just like they try to beat us out of being Israelites, but yet we're here. Why? Yeah. Because of the Holy Spirit. The Spirit came into our minds. Yeah. You can't control. That's hard, bro. You didn't spend years. You didn't took scriptures out. You didn't beat the heritage out of us, and yet here we are.
Killed us, drowned us, castrated, burned us alive. It separated us from y'all. All of that, set up puppets. But you can't beat the Heavenly Father, man. He's the one that allowed us to wake up. He told it in Hosea the 1st chapter, in the place where it was said unto them. This is like. But then we 55 years down the line, and you still trying. You still trying. But you durst fight, I guess, It's the same as when the Lord showed up, like the Apostle Tahar did the video about the lasers. The Lord just gave him hand-me-down technology, basically. You know what I'm saying? He reading in the scriptures and, fire and tempest and blasting, running the dust. Now he created the dew weapons and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we got the dew laser. All right, cool. That's what's up. So when the angels show up, and you go to send a laser at their ass and they disappear. Right, gotta charge that bitch up. The chair just go. Oh, man. Right do your shit. Like they make planes. Like we talk about the plane got to turn and the chair could just. That shit gonna shake the fuck out of the fire chair.
You gotta go 3 miles down and turn around.
Y'all racing. He just stopped and you behind you. He behind you now. Yeah. Just imagine that he charging. And you catching up, and he just go whoop, and stop, and you can't stop. You can't match that movement. Yep.
And even all of the military men say that, based off of their the documents that they've taken out. Look, these objects do things. They defy gravity. They defy science, and they do all of them defying things that they can't do. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Because they're not. Just the same as a fish being underwater in the depths, that's damn near a different dimension. All right, because we can't survive down there, just like the angels. They're living in a different dimension. Yeah. So they could come and walk around like us, and they could not appear. All right, and people, just because we're in this earth, don't mean it's not possible. Yep. That's a narcissistic thing to think that, it can't be possible because I can't do it. That's your fucking problem. You don't have no faith, but then as soon as Esau created electricity and Wi-Fi, now it's like, Well, maybe it's possible. That's a midget's mind of thinking, man. You have one?
Yeah.
Let that brother get his.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 40. It says, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
Yeah, that's right. And the celestial is the angelic bodies. You know, Raphael. You know what I'm saying? They be knowing stuff, but he said, your cousin waiting on you, type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The fish, it eating. You know, making transfiguring, making himself look like he's eating. Because angels don't eat; they don't need any food, but they could walk around like this, like tangible, could pick shit up, walk with you. You know what I'm saying?
Look like other people, be one way one day, another way another day, you know?
And don't eat. and be functioning just fine.
Yep.
That's the thing. We ain't talking about somebody like I'm a ghost and I just kind of use my powers to move something. No, nigga, I have manifested in human form.
Yeah.
Okay? Michelle's a day.
Shaking your hand type, you know what I'm saying?
Well, David wrestled an angel, bro. David wrestled an angel. That's you really grappling with somebody.
Yeah, bro.
You know? It ain't like the angel couldn't stop him. He probably was just wrestling him because he wanted to, entertain that fact through the spirit, man.
Let me see what you got. Yeah.
Because when the angel got tired, he popped his hip out of joint. All right, bro. I see you ain't gonna stop like a ball for sinners. All right, you gonna just keep getting up. Let me
Still you motherfucking ass.
Yeah. I love that scene. But you just don't fucking know. Keep getting up, man. You know, the spirit have us like that. Your spirit have you, give you that endurance.
Bro. Yep. Yep. And that's why he like, hey man, Prince of the Power, man. You know.
And that's the thing. You can't control the spirit of a man.
Yep.
No matter how much you beat us down, we keep getting back up. Normally, when you beat like a dog like that, they normally stay down.
Yeah.
Normally, when you put your foot on that, like I watched it one show. When I was watching this nigga, and that shit show up on your feed. I forget they call this nigga king or something like that. It's like a dog, you furry, but it's a pack of dogs, and the dogs off. One of the dogs being ornery, fucking with all the rest of the dogs, and he'll walk up and check them. All the other dogs start bowing like a Lion King on some shit, and he walked up to that dog and checked him, kept checking him. And when he checked him one time, he got in his shit and he had that one paw on his neck. That nigga was leaning, and cause nigga, if I get down on your ass, I'm over with for you.
Yeah,
it did.
He just came strutting and shit, you know.
Yeah, the last video I see, this nigga was standing on top of that nigga, and the other dogs was digging the hole. That nigga got rid of that boy. You know what I'm saying?
Big ass cane Corso bound to this nigga and shit.
Yeah, because that's animals, man. But we're not animals. You'll be a cane Corso like, man, this nigga lil, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Or have the ability to sway you into thinking. I mean, little niggas got control of big niggas.
Yeah, bro.
You know, it's always a little nigga that got control of the big nigga.
Yeah, I was even thinking of David and Goliath. You know, Goliath was laughing at him like this little dude, you know what I'm saying? But it was the faith that he had into the Heavenly Father and the Spirit that the Lord put upon him, man. You know?
Yep. Because yeah, man. Now we are still attached to reality, if that makes sense. But we have a mind to perceive things. So we do get affected like animals get affected. But we have the power to break out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're just inebriated, indoctrinated, you're gonna move off of impulse. All right? You smell food, you're gonna want it. All right? You're gonna wanna, whatever it is, somebody make you angry, you wanna fight.
Yeah, and that's why I did that lesson, you know, it's called Grow Up, because it goes, like we talking about in the chat, it goes into being mature. You know what I'm saying? Not being childish, not giving into every desire and pleasure that comes across your nose, across your eyes, across your ears, all of that, man.
Being a natural brute beast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yep.
You could, because the term natural brute beast goes back to fucking animals.
Yep.
We are not animals that just, but you go ahead.
And I'm gonna say, well, no, that's beautiful, because within animals, you can't be reasonable in a sense. Like that's why they say people, you're such an animal type deal. You acting like an animal. You acting like a beast. Is that's because you can't be reasoned with. You know.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the definitions with them being brute. It's unreasonable. If you can't deal with you can't be civilized. You know?
And there's people out here that are like animals. Yeah. They've been programmed like that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? They've been programmed to live off of the flesh and not walk in the spirit. Let's get that scripture because the Bible says different. Walk ye in the spirit so you don't fulfill the lust of the flesh. You know?
This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Yeah, and the spirit is the scriptures and the Holy Spirit in itself. Okay? So that walking in that, because sometimes the Lord will tell you go right, and the flesh will tell you go left. Okay? He'll tell you go down a dark road, and you be like, your flesh will be like, well, I could trip, I could fall, I could do this. You know? Hey, well, the best example is Peter walking on water. He literally was walking in the spirit. Okay? If that is thee, let me come to thee. All right? And when he did that, it showed that his flesh was able to go beyond what he thought it was able to do. You know? Because we're capable of a whole lot more, but we've been reduced spiritually, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if your actions is predicated off your mind, man. If you don't believe you could do something, your actions will predicate that. Yeah. That's why I was talking to this one guy in a joke. They were talking about fighters and shit. It's like, I don't like him. He's arrogant. I'm like, bro, you have to be arrogant when you're fighting because there's no way you're supposed to let in your mind that there's a possibility that this person could beat my ass because it's going to reflect in your actions.
Exactly. And you might try to talk yourself up and shit, but at the end of the day, you already shut down and deep down inside, you know, because you done already you already fed into that doubt, man. That's what happened.
You don't know if a person believes in themselves. You know, just like Shador.
Yeah.
You can see it ain't arrogance.
Exactly.
It's just self-belief. Like, I worked hard at it, bro. Like, why his bravado represents, like, that's him. Like, how else would you act when you got your shit together? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Smiling and shit, saying what you got to say. You don't give a fuck about the results, nigga, because I know who I am. Yeah. And that takes away control of people. That's why Esau programmed us to make us think, and you don't know who you are because they created a society that everybody acts the same. And you're not a civilized, successful human being unless you got a degree, or you got this, or you got money. You know what I'm saying? Not because you not to stand up for yourself. Not because you got discipline to stay away from certain things. There's these niggas elite that's laying with babies and shit, eating, drinking baby blood. How the hell is that genius, man? Yeah. There's people that's up there that's very degenerate, man. Yeah, it's just crazy. You know, doing all kind of wickedness, man, getting peed on. You know, these people be rich doing dumb shit, man.
Drinking, what the hell old boy was drinking? Some animal. Oh, that's livelihood.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they got
the
get a
horse
stomach
seed.
pump. The horse seed.
Yeah. Damn, this nigga was important too. He's like a congressman or something.
That's fucking
But
wild,
compared
man.
to like Elise, that's a low level nigga. So imagine what like Elise that we don't see doing.
They told him he can get up there if he do that.
Well, they eat lobster. You know? Like you should look at a cat, put that motherfucker in a tank. Like, bro, if I'm eating these, what's happening to the ocean?
Yeah.
They don't care. They're brute beasts. It tastes delicious. And it's abundant.
Don't give a fuck.
You know? If fish tastes like this, I wonder what fucking rhino tastes like. This natural brute beast, impulsive.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck about the cause effect of nature, man. These people have came through to planet Earth and fucked up the homeostasis of living. Yeah. Okay? You get old. Like we in Tobit now. What it say? You know, don't take our son and add money to money because if you take away, if he dies, then who's gonna take care of us? Yeah. That tells you what? That there's no fucking old folks. concept of when you turn 18, get up out of my house. That's not how that's supposed to be. That's your inheritance. You're supposed to have land, and then when I grow up, we all grow together. And what we add, we're going to add here.
Yep.
But Babylon has taught you to keep dividing and keep portioning out, so that's where you got to keep doing what? Relying on them.
I'm about saying, at the end of the day, that's divide and conquer. You know, now y'all you got a family of 5. You got the mother and the father, so to speak, in one house. The son had graduated. He out there struggling. The daughter's right behind him. Now she's struggling. The youngin
he went to school. He ain't want to learn what his daddy learned.
Yep.
You know,
Here we go.
he ain't want to learn what his dad learned.
He could have stayed in the house and went work with pops.
My dad ain't shit because I seen LeBron on TV. And I'm gonna tell everybody he the best person. My dad ain't shit. You know, my daddy. My dad beat your daddy ass. But you know, like Jake grew up, and even the fathers. Like I was talking to Jake. He was like, "Yeah, man." And I said he was having a kid. And I said, "What's your name?" He's like, "Is he gonna name a junior?" He's like, "Nah, man. I don't want him to have my life." I said, "What's wrong with you?" Like, what the fuck? Like, how?
Genuine question.
like, what's wrong with you that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you don't feel like your child shouldn't impart. Now, I'm not gonna give you the bad of me. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing wrong with me, bro. The things that I've succeeded in, I'm gonna hand it down. The things that I did good is good indeed. You know, anybody on planet Earth, nigga, if you only did fucking 10% good, you're supposed to hand that over to your kid and let them build off of that.
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta get it out the mud. That is not the ways of our way, man. Like I said, if I build a block, if I buy a block of land and we work in that block, then I get kids. Now my kids can now work that block of land, and then we could, you know, gather up and I could buy another block, and then he move his family on that, and then we build a community within that, man. Because Abraham had servants, Lot had servants. They had a lot of people. You hear about Abraham a lot. It wasn't just them two. Okay. They had a squadron. And Abraham had an army, man. He took his servants and went and fought a kingdom of people. You know? Abraham had no it stressed Abraham to with the no, not Abraham, but Isaac, with Jacob and Esau. Well, it was Abraham. It's like it with I know I can't think of his name. Hagar and her son, Ishmael. Yeah, Ishmael. Right? It grieved him to put them away, man. The angel had to come and tell him, like, don't trip, bro. They're gonna be all right. You know, because that's your household, bro. That's your household. You ain't supposed to be just shipping it out like that as a custom. Now, it did happen, and Esau said, well, such and such did it. Nigga, that wasn't a custom, though. As a foundational rooted principle, we grew up together and we built our foundation through inheritance. All right?
I was trying to look it up, but there was this black dude, and he was like either in the military or into NASA or something like that. But he ended up, and he was smart as hell, but he ended up leaving that and starting his own ranch. Now, he had 2 boys and he had a daughter. His daughter, she had a successful gig too, but she ended up quitting that job and coming to work with her pops to be like the assistant and the promoter. And then the boys working. So it's like all of this, they like, fuck that corporate shit, fuck that. We gonna just bring all of this home. You know what I'm saying? Hella successful. And they, you know, grandkids come through and it'll continuously go, man, like the bro saying, but
you can teach your kid how to work a ranch at age 4. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got to go to school for that, but you got to be 18. You know what I'm saying? Like all kind of regulations and shit like that. You know? Because just like you go to in the country, man, when it's more liberal there, that they're not so strict on the laws, man. You be seeing like 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds driving cars and shit, man.
Yeah.
I literally seen that when I was young. Little kid whipping a truck. Hey, I'm sitting there chilling. Hey, go park the truck real quick. Little nigga, all right, hop up. I was watching the video Other day, kid in the tractor, mom on the walkie, dad on the walkie-talkie. It's getting dark, son. He's on a tractor, nigga. He's about my daughter, 10 years old, on the tractor, running that motherfucker. It's getting dark, son. Trying to come in. Okay, dad, I'm coming in. And mom coming in. Yeah, we made some macaronis and like talking to him like a kid, but he's able to work a big ass tractor.
And this society pretty much teaches us to hinder that. Oh, they ain't old enough, or they ain't
You gotta
this.
have
They
2
ain't
years
that.
experience before you get to touch this machine.
Yeah, they treat us like kids. Shit, adults. You
Right.
can't work this machine because you have no experience. You
Right.
don't even give me the experience.
Right.
That motherfucker that had experience, he didn't have experience until he got experience. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. But they greedy. They want efficiency. You know what I'm saying? And they want control. They don't want you to learn something on your own because that's gonna build up confidence and say, I don't need you. Like just give me access to the machine. I'm gonna figure it out on my own. Yeah, that's how it is with that fucking Palatine.
right.
They don't fucking manual.
You gotta figure that
Even the supervisor don't know the manual. It was one nigga that had the manual. He's a mystery mechanic. Right? It was one nigga that had the manual. He knew about this motherfucker. But we in that bitch. How we learned it? Fucking with shit, turning shit. You know, you figure it out. And that's how life is supposed to be. But then there's people that figure it out that hand out the figure out. Okay? That's how it's supposed to be. Not you got to be licensed, you got to be this, you got to be that. You got to follow Esau's curriculum. You could cook, your ass could cook a fucking soul food meal out this world. But because your ass don't have a chimney in your house, you can't cook out of your house. That's the type of shit he do, man. To have control, you need to have this in order to cook here. And if something happens, I'm going to destroy you and wipe you off. No, nigga, if I get sick, you know what I'm saying? I'm not coming back to your business, my nigga. That's it. If you kill me, then you got to replace my life. You know what I'm saying? If I get sick unto death by what you fed me, then you gotta compensate that. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you probably gotta go in the city of refuge, my brother. You never know. Type shit like it's a common senseness of it. Esau distorted that by trying to create his amendments and his laws, and he tried to create that as a civil standard. You know? Yeah.
It's Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
Yeah, they turn everything upside down. They don't even respect day and night no more, man. Okay? There should be only one fucking shift. Niggas out in clubs and shit.
6 to 6.
You know? Everything running. Man, old folks home wiping asses 3 o'clock in the morning, man.
It's 3 in the morning. Take those stuff away.
You stressed out, dizzy as hell, melatonin all off. Esau fucks up the natural ecosystem, the homeostasis, which is pretty much a proper circle, the proper flow. Okay? And we be talking about a gig a lot, man. They do that at the gig. The natural homeostasis of a machine is that motherfucker can't run forever. It needs to be repaired. They just ignore it. Keep running it. Get up, run it again.
Keep running it.
Run it again.
I was telling the maintenance man, like, yeah, what we need to do is clean this, do that. This motherfucker tell me, yeah, it's been a while since we broke the machine down. Well, nigga, that's probably why it's doing what it's doing, because it's been a while since.
Tell me dumbass shit like that. The machine needs to stop after a while. You can't keep banging metal on metal every fucking day and nothing happens, nigga. Metal bends.
Just keep putting lubricant on it.
I don't give a fuck how much steel can bend.
Yeah, that heat, yeah.
You know, 'cause if a nuclear missile could fold a fucking ship in half, or a rocket can, and it's a steel ship, there's a lot of steel ships at the bottom, steel warships at the bottom of the sea because of war. So that shows you that metal can be manipulated. So if you banging that metal on that, something's gonna happen. And they act like, nah, just keep running it. I don't know why, but it might be you. Like, nah, man, this is the system we in. It's capitalistic, hyper-productive.
Yeah, give me a brand new machine, and then let's see how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You shouldn't be running nothing like that.
Bro, such and such, they did it a couple years ago. Yeah, nigga, now this machine is 2 years older than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I should be running it on 40.
Nigga, fuck your 40. That's how you feel like saying, bro. Like,
40. Y'all fix the machine. You know, but just like this society, man. Back
Yeah.
in my time, they're running this place into the ground, man.
Yep.
This world hastes fast and fast its way.
Yep.
You know?
And then, like it says, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, because it's like, damn, this breaking, that breaking, this over here, because now the Lord has allowed us to see. You know, people, the average citizen, they just doing a normal worker bee mentality. You know, but the Lord allowed us to step back and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this place going down, man. You know, and He is allowing us to lay our treasures up in heaven, man. Make that investment, because, like it says, can somebody grab? I think it's 1 Corinthians 4:17.
So First Corinthians chapter 4. 1 Corinthians 4 verse 17 says, "For this cause have I sent unto you Timotheus."
Second Corinthians 4:17. This things that are seen are temporal.
This 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 17, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen,
Yep.
but at the things which are not seen."
Because what's not seen? The kingdom of heaven, clean air, life. Fuck it. Just that sums it, because this ain't life. This ain't living. Yeah. You feel me? We see life, man, because that's what's not seen. That's what's coming when the Lord cleanses the earth, man, and is set up in righteousness. Go ahead.
But the things that are not seen, but the things which are seen are temporal.
This society, the cars, the pleasures, the desires. All right, what does it say? The lust of the eyes in 2 John. Yeah, all of this
the
is
shit,
shit.
the shit you be breaking your neck for. It's temple, bro. You, like I said, when Jacob's trouble happened, niggas ain't gonna be trying to step on my Nikes type shit.
Yeah, well, that's one of my
Release your
favorite.
fucking worries.
One of my favorite quotes out of the movie, out of the book of Eli, is she asks him, "How was the old world?" You know, now mind you, this she's asking him in a nuclear apocalypse, after a nuclear apocalypse, pretty much. And he said the things that people fight for now, they threw away then. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this society is going to come to.
Have drunk water bottles. Thing I'm like, damn, I could have held on to that. Family, you don't know the weight that you said have drunk water bottle. That shit. Like y'all watching Walking Dead, that nigga open the car and just, he ain't gonna fuck who put their mouth on it.
Yeah, all of that's
gonna go out the way. Germs, your ass ain't gonna care. You just ain't gonna fuck with nobody that's nasty by the mouth.
Yeah. You don't eat certain vegetables, certain type of fruit, certain type of canned this, and nah, fuck all of that, nigga. Pop this, eat tuna with your hand, nigga. Fuck a fork, all of that, bro. You know,
civilized shit.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
ain't saying we should eat with our hands, but we ate with our hands.
Yep.
As Israelites, we ate with our hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what the man bread and all that. We ate with the Ethiopians still eat with their hands, and Hamites still eat with their hands.
Yes, sir.
But they'll tell you that's barbaric, that's natural. That's why you got the fucking hands full.
Right.
You know, just because they label finger food, you're civilized for using your hands to eat that. Nigga, you're still eating with your hands.
Right. Yeah.
Bitch ass nigga trying to flip it, looking at a nigga fucking with foo-foo, you looking at him like he a barbarian, but your ass eating on wings. What's the fucking difference?
Hey, my granny
Finger food.
86 years old,
Right.
and she's country. She in Mississippi. She eat with her hand, greens, cornbread with her hands. She use forks and spoons and shit here and there, but if she get it out the pot and shit like that, and she'll eat with her hands, bro.
Yeah, it's a natural habit. You get that bread and sop up the scraps.
Yep.
But that was the nan bread was for. You get that bread, that was the foo-foo was for. You grab that foo-foo, put that shit in that hot ass shit. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the nan bread. Put that, hit that and hit. You know, that's how we ate. Niggas see that 9 days. This nigga doing. It's like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like there's some type of. There's a lot of detachments with regular common sense of human nature, man. Yeah. Okay? You know, like just it's a bunch of shit. Like the standards is just far-fetched, man. You know? Like you walking, imagine you walking, and I do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's not in my head. I have to rebuke myself, I would say. Because I'd be driving and I'd be like, like, look at this nigga. Walking this shit. And sometimes I'd be like, man, what the fuck he looking at? And I have to think, I'm like, he looking at me like, what the fuck am I looking at? Because, like, what the fuck are you looking at? Right. Nigga, like, I'm doing something normal. And I'm looking at you because you walking. And you look, and I'm like, why is he? No, bro, like, why can't you walk? That's what your legs are used for, to literally walk.
Yeah. And it's exercise.
Our legs are not used for a car. It was made to operate a car, but we wasn't humanly made to be in no fucking car. Yeah. We were supposed to be on horses. All right? Then you gotta break that horse. It's a process, man. You gotta earn your keep, man. Like you eat how good you ate based off how good you hunt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How good your horse is how good you treat it. Exactly. And if you could break that horse. And you don't break it by beating the fuck out of it.
So you gotta have empathy, man.
You gotta have empathy. Imagine that's how you got your car, nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Some motherfuckers drive their cars like.
How often you wipe it down and clean up your car? Gotta be a certain standard before it starts up and shit. Ooh.
Some people just they don't give a fuck how they drive that bitch, man.
They don't change the oil. They got money, man.
And most of them people are women. I don't give a fuck what y'all say.
They're the most brutest of the beasts.
They always need brakes and they never get an oil change.
The rotor rooters. But anybody got something else to close out?
Yeah, I have one more. It's Psalms 82 verse 5. It says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course."
Yep, that's it. They walk in darkness, and that's a lack of knowledge. I don't give a fuck if you got Wi-Fi, bro. You deep frying niggas' heads just so you can fucking look at your movie and talk to somebody instead of just saying, you know what? It ain't that serious. Let me just go walk over there. No, it's just corporate greed. And so, you know what I'm saying? But hey, that lifestyle is going to be over. It's going to come to an end, and the Lord's going to give us out, man. Yahweh Shai is going to give us deliverance from this foul and polluted place. That's why I said, come out of here, my people, for it's polluted, shall destroy you with its sword destruction. In Revelations, we're going to actually come out of her physically, and the noose going to hit. Abaratza, we're a part of that number. With that being said, we give all praises
unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
Our elders who well. Let's citation to you, brothers.
Shalom.
Yes, sir.